What's happening, good people of YouTube, Facebook, and of course, X? This is Coronation's 5 Heart Podcast. Legendary as it is, made exceptional due to some fantastic design work by the co-host who brings the most. That's a working title. Anyway, I'm Greg Mahachko. That's Minnie Hunt. Great seeing you, Minnie. Great seeing the Chatterfields. I got to see. Look at that. Raji says, "Oh, this is new."
This is new.
Yeah, it was time.
What do we think? What do we think, people?
Let's see. Fred says, "Whoa, it felt like I was in a Connor fever dream with that first intro countdown." Yeah. So the reason being, I was trying to just do it the right way, and my computer was glitching, so then I had to do it the old way. So my apologies. Because I saw when a video starts, how this program works. StreamYard, which is what we've been using now for a long time. When the video starts, we drop out of frame, obviously, but I can still see Minnie. She can still see me. And I saw her reaction like, what? My brand new intro countdown. So
you ruined it. Just kidding. You didn't ruin it.
Graphics are really stepping up. That's how we do things on Thursday nights, unlike Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
Y'all were here Tuesday night. I don't know.
And we have other things, not just graphics. We've got music. We've got
a co-host.
That's kind of important. Yes.
Fred says, "Nice, Minnie. Is there a special one where Dylan loses an article of clothing with each number?" Yeah, but I haven't seen that one. I know it exists. She was bragging about it in a production meeting. She's like, "I'm just going to put that one in my file, my special file."
Liar.
That's true. I'm lying. Raji says, right. "Nice work, Minnie," and he's right. Who was doing an interpretive dance, Fred? Me,
That's
Minnie,
what you do.
You know what? Sometimes. But in my defense, I've earned it. I haven't earned anything. Yeah. It has been a week, Minnie, and somehow this is the third show that you have been on this week. What the hell's up with
that? Yeah. Are you jealous? Jealous of my... Oh, look at that face. Greg, I'm not... It's okay. I'm still loyal to 5 Heart. I'm here every week.
Yeah.
Greg, I hate to tell you this. I know in your mind, you think that you've been here every show in the last 10, 11 months, and you haven't. I have.
I've been here for the majority of them.
Yeah, you actually have. Yeah.
I've been here for most of the 402 episodes.
Okay, true that. Uh-oh.
Fred says, "Greg, green isn't a good color on you." Well, it's not easy being green. There's a famous frog that said that. Right. Joe Laleka says it's called eye candy, Greg. That's what I thought I was to this show. Like, if Linda Wilkins were here right now, she would definitely be calling me Greg Eye Candy Mahachko.
Eye candy. Oh my gosh, Greg, it's going to your head.
Yes, the one person who's nice to me. it's taking over my personality. So,
how often do you look at her message to you?
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't, because I don't have it saved. I don't have it saved. I don't even know what episode it was. You know, that she was so kind and nice to me. Definitely wasn't episode 374. No, I honestly have no idea. I really don't. It definitely wasn't 374 because it wasn't that far back. It was early summer. So, but I digress. Yes, ma'am.
5 minutes in. Let's talk Husker football.
I would say, how's the pod mother doing today? The fairy pod mother.
I'm doing really good. Do you want to know why?
It's because you have some unbridled optimism for reasons that I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know most of the reasons.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm packing. This time tomorrow, I will be stalking football players in Columbus.
In Columbus. Okay, I'm glad you clarified that because you stalk football players all the time. So it's not like it's this time tomorrow would be a certain thing.
Yeah.
No, it's just you be doing it in Columbus tomorrow. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, you are going. I know Haas is going to the game with a group of his buddies, and I don't know anybody else going to the game to my knowledge. So,
Akambangaha. What is this? Oh, excuse me. Did you mean to do that, Greg?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcasts, asks, when does Minnie apologize to me for throwing shade at my prediction last week?
You're the reason it happened, David Matney. We're going to cover this tonight. In fact, thank you for reminding me. Okay, David Matney. Got to remember that. Okay. Starring this. We're going to start this comment for later. And?
Mm-hmm.
Greg, what are you doing? Okay, let's start the show.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Because our goal is to get done a little earlier than the normal 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yes, we have a clear-cut 2 hours, 14 minutes today. So I figured what we would do is we would wait, just have some fun, witty banter for the next hour and a half, and then cram all of the content, all of the format into the next last 45 minutes, zip through it, and Bob's your uncle. What do you think?
I have 2 pages of format stuff. You haven't even looked at it.
That's not true. I have it open right now.
Not to mention my glorious description for this show that we're in.
Yes. Am I supposed to read that right now?
No, you don't have to. It's only for the cool people.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, what are you drinking tonight, Minnie?
No. Lemon White Claw.
How many different flavors of White Claw are there, out of curiosity?
I have no idea. My goal is to try them all.
Try them all. All right. Got to catch them all. Got to try them all. I think Kaylee Bartles is right. I hope it's pronouncing that. I hope it's Bartles. If it emphasis is on the last syllable of Bartels, please let us know, Kaylee. But the format is undeniable. That's right. We cannot escape the format. So tonight I am drinking, Minnie, the same beverage I was drinking Sunday night, which is Civil Life. It's a brewery in St. Louis, and this is the Angels and the Sword. Is a pub style ale. I think it's more of a brown ale. It's very good. I enjoy it. I have 3 of them. I have a whole case of Yingling behind me, but I didn't put any of them in the fridge today. So
I have to say, I like the logo on that. The can.
Very
it's
nice.
Really patriotic.
I mean, I don't know about patriotic. It's a statue of somebody holding a sword.
Ooh. What does the front look like? What does the front look like? Yeah, that's the part.
Okay. Sorry.
I like it. It's a good choice.
Thank you.
Okay. So, shall we just get the first little bit over with? Just so
What's Greg drinking today? What's Greg drinking today? Whoa. They were calling for it. Rostovsky says, wait, are we doing it without the jingle? Greg, what are you drinking tonight? Sorry. I saw, again, the benefit of doing the show is I saw Minnie's reaction. She about flipped her table over. It was tremendous. She was like, let's get into the show. And Greg did what Greg does, which is derail everything.
Yep.
So,
as usual.
that's what I do.
Okay, this past week, we had a loss to Indiana 56-7.
I like how you put it so mildly. We had a loss. We got our shit kicked in.
We have beat this drum all week long. And I'm tired of listening to the woe is me attitude. I'm tired of it and I'm done with it. I think we have thoroughly beat that drum.
So we're not going to talk at all about the 49-point loss on the road to Indiana of all damn teams?
What do you want to say, Greg? We struggled.
Would you say we struggled on third downs?
I would. Yes, I would.
What were those numbers look like, Minnie?
On offense, we only had 7 of 16.
That is under 50%.
Yeah. But there's only one direction to go from here, Greg.
It's true. You can't really get any worse. Unless you were playing like a top 5 team on the road or something. I don't know.
Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't
Not
start.
yet. Not yet. Not yet. I'll save it for later. Sorry.
All right. So, yes, and we lost the turnover battle, which we have been really good at not losing. But kind of the wheels fell off, so to speak, last week.
Some could say, you could make the argument, and I'm not here to relitigate the entire game. You can make the argument that the wheels were never on for the Nebraska Cornhuskers last Saturday.
Oh, we left them in Lincoln?
We might have left the whole damn set of tires in Lincoln.
That explains it. There we go. There we go. It's a great explanation, Greg.
It's the only ones that I have, Minnie.
All right. So are we good with that? Do we need to take some comments? We probably do.
I feel like it's appropriate. People have, I mean, look, the great thing about this community that we have created and grown here, I'm trying to make it not sound weird, is they're very loyal. And for whatever reason, they've turned out probably 4 nights this week. 5 if you include, the overreaction Saturday or Sunday night. So I don't know if look, do you all have anything else that you want to get off your chest about the Indiana game? Any diatribes, any venting, any ranting? Let us know. I really do think it best if we put it behind us. Minnie definitely does. She's like,
I'm almost on the plane to go see another one. That's why, guys, we got to get the ship pointed in the right direction here. And tonight we're going to.
I made a comment. Of course, I'm so ill prepared for this. I apologize to you and to everybody. But I put something out on X during the game, and it was a big ask. If y'all will just humor me just for a minute, I apologize. Ignore whatever notification you're getting, Minnie. This is show prep stuff, and I just apologize. See if I can't get this put up here. I'm doing this quickly. It's not going to be.
So I'm reading Quit Snipe Huskers comment in the meantime. I'm
Do that.
half a liter of vodka away from even considering letting go of my Indiana shittiness. Well, shot. I'm kidding.
Rostowski says the worst team in college football, Kennesaw State, beat unbeaten Liberty last night. Anything is possible.
There you go. There you go. That's an optimistic comment.
Fred says Minnie and Todd say Greg has a big ask. You know what? it's like 50-50 on my curiosity as to how Todd would rank my badonk. I'm glad we don't ever really have to go there. Anyway, I tweeted this out, however, during the game. And I'm going to share this with you all because this is where I was at mentally on Saturday. From the official, by the way, this is a great way to advertise that the 5 Heart Podcast has its very own X account. It's the number 5 Heart Podcast. I said, I'm not saying I needed the Huskers to win today for my overall mental health, as that's a lot to ask of 19 to 23-year-olds who do not know me, but fuck, it would have helped. Like, I was on the bus. I was on the quote-unquote struggle bus on Saturday. And a Husker win has a way of really uplifting all of us. And, you know, same goes when the Huskers lose, and especially when they lose in that particular fashion. So,
yeah, you were definitely in the depths of despair.
Mm-hmm. I like Andy. By the way, Andy Harris has no, right? No. I'm in. Yeah, I like Andy. Andy's got some great questions. Or comments that we'll do our best, Andy, to get. I know we've started a few already. The 5 stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. I'm pulling out of depression and moving on to acceptance. Maybe that's what we're here tonight to do, Minnie. We're, you know what? It's been, let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, Sunday. I had to count it on my fingers privately before I count on my fingers publicly. Sunday was denial. I'll be honest. By the time we got to the overreaction, it was a little bit of anger too. Bargaining, depression would have been Tuesday. I'm sorry, depression would have been Wednesday.
Wait. Get this straight, okay? When did Marcus Satterfield take to the podium for the press conference? It was Tuesday. So that would have been bargaining. He's trying to take all the blame on himself.
Okay, so then yesterday would have been depression, and today is acceptance. So today we turn the page, figuratively, to the next chapter of the 2024 Nebraska football season.
Andy says, Sat's comment. Would you knock it off?
We were both clicking the same comment at the same time.
You just like being in charge of all the clicking, don't you? Yeah. I said, Greg, would you like me to start the show? He goes, no, I got it. He's having all kinds of issues over there, but he's got it.
There are so few things in my life, Minnie, that I have some semblance of control over. Don't take this show away from me.
I won't. I'm trying to help.
I know.
You're so funny. Okay, Andy says, Sat comments brought me back to anger.
I love Nebraska T-Bones here. The pickup is halfway back out of the depression garage. Bone-led corn-fed, while we're getting ahead of things, says, as long as we beat Iowa, I don't care what happens. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says, I've settled for just staying at anger.
It's a good place to probably be. You don't have to go through that whole thing again.
No, just stay at anger. You know, couldn't possibly backfire on you.
It is not a good place to be. You know where people that with anger issues go?
To the hospital with ulcers. Or to the morgue.
And they go to these hidden chat rooms where nobody will listen to them. And all it is just negative comment after negative comment. Reddit.
Are you on the dark web? I feel like it's like
seems like it is sometimes in the Husker chat rooms.
Raji says, I definitely know how to push buttons. Trust me. Just ask my wife. And Control Freak Mahachko, thanks, Joe Lalakis. Not wrong. Let's see.
No, you're not wrong.
You know, I was going to start this for later, but I think this one needs to be addressed right now. Corn Husker Corner says, I'm just going to be in the moment. Right now it's anger, but Saturday around 3 p.m. will be Nirvana.
I love that.
Euphoria.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Akin Bugaha. I'm pronounce that right? Wrong? I don't
Akin
know.
Bug Aha.
Okay, fine, sure. Greg, how much did Harry Carey specs set you back on eBay? Oh, these are far removed from Harry Carey specs. As an Illinois native, seeing plenty of Harry Carey growing up, his frames were 3 times as thick and his lenses were 2. So was his good, but that's fine. So was his personality. Anyway, no.
Okay.
Oh, it's not for the reasons we thought. Cornhusker Corner says because I'll be listening to Nirvana screaming in anger. No.
We're not. We're not going there, guys. Let's just move on. Okay. I think we're not being productive with our anger right now. This is not helping. We're here to help. We're going to discuss the injury updates now.
Okay. There are injuries. Can I take the first one?
Go for it.
All right. So, star safety Deshaun Singleton in the game against Indiana was injured, but he is anticipating that he will play on Saturday in Columbus.
Yes. And?
I thought we'd alternate. Like, I thought you'd do the next one and I'd do the next one.
You want to give a little and I'll take a little. And okay. Ramir Johnson's out. He's working through concussion protocol. So. Rostovsky, really? Gosh, this is, yeah. I'm pretty sure they're okay.
Okay, all right. And then Thomas Fedoni had a sprained ankle before Indiana, but played through it and will play this weekend. He was also the most productive member of the offense, so I say let's sprain all the ankles before Saturday and then put up 900 yards.
Yeah, let's do that. That would be awesome. Okay, Nebraska picked up. Oh boy, all my pictures disappeared.
Were you working on some introductory dialogue for the possibility of seeing DR in Columbus this weekend? You gonna give a little, take a little?
I don't even know what that means.
I don't.
So either. No. But we picked up this guy.
Juju Marks.
Juju Marks committed to Nebraska. And a lot of people were kind of upset over, there's this, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. I think it's this. Yeah. No. It's this one. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd it go? Okay. Where he says, do you want to read it, Greg?
I kind of do.
I know you do.
Wait,
you got to say it in an accent that's you might think he might have.
I'm 100% not going to do that.
Okay, good idea.
Oh God, you're trying to get me canceled.
I was not. I didn't think it through. Sorry.
Julian Juju Marks says Nebraska offered more money, and I feel like they offer me better development. So, plain and simple: money, development, NFL.
Refreshing take.
Rostowski said, "LOL, Mini." Brett says, "Do not do that." I was not going to. I was not going to. I don't even. So where is Juju Marks from?
Kansas.
Oh, that's right. Because we flipped him from the Jayhawks. So,
yep. Which was their top recruit too for that year, 2025. So this is really good. And he listed on his thing that his contact with Nebraska is Mosey, the assistant football analyst that we hired from Lee's Summit High School. Do you remember? Okay. Jamar Mosey. That's his name. And his son also flipped. Remember, he was going to Oregon and he flipped.
Right.
Isaiah Mosey. Yeah. So there we go. We're building a whole class of 4 and 5 stars.
But we have to have them develop. which apparently is why Juju Marks is coming to Lincoln.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So, let's see here.
What, Greg?
Husker for Life said a few minutes ago, Rule had a concerning comment today, said he wanted more quick, big plays versus 8 to 10 minute drives. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All I got to say about that. That is definitely how, like, when we started the beginning of the season against the UTEPs, the Colorados, and the Northern Iowas, we were definitely seeing quick, big plays, big play drives that were taking 2 to 3.5 minutes off the clock. But I think now that we're into the Big Ten schedule, we're playing better competition. And we have perimeter receivers who struggle to gain separation, to struggle to make the play, come down with the 50-50 balls, whatever. And we're so monotonous in our running game. We're going to have 8 to 10 minute drives. We're going to move the ball slowly. We're not going to do
a question.
Well,
before you go taking this for, fact, the quote that I have is that he said we have a lot of 8, 9, 10 yard drives or 10 play drives, excuse me. We'd like some 4 play drives that result in a touchdown. So not minutes. He's wanting the amount of plays on a drive. Does that make sense?
It does. The problem is you can still have an 8, 9, 10, 12 drive play and apparently fumble the ball inside the red zone.
Yeah. Well,
at the end of the day, you have to finish the drive. You have to get points. Nebraska was unable to do that with one exception on Saturday. And to make it even worse, Indiana did not punt until the fourth quarter. And that was a big problem.
You're not over this.
Am I supposed to be?
Yeah, because we just already talked about Juju Marks.
Okay, fine. Sorry.
Okay. And talking about all this, I looked over and I saw Fred's comment. Fred says, 4 play drives, 4 play drives, or floor play John drives. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
From your Blue Chew ad?
I'm glad Fred remembers that. See, the funny thing about that is that was some made up BS that I did, and it still sticks with people.
It's good.
Fantastic.
I love it when you're creative.
It shouldn't happen too often. All right. So all right. Indiana's officially behind us. I'm not allowed to talk about it at all.
I'm sorry. I mean, if you have something else to say, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, Andy said at 9:05, Greg, what did you say when Barney stepped out of bounds? I cursed at the TV. Andy, I'm so glad you asked. I shook my head, said, here we go, and watched as nothing miraculous unfolded after that. It definitely set the tone, I think, for the remainder of the game. Minnie, agree? Not agree?
Well, as you remember, Greg, I wasn't watching the first part of the game.
True.
I missed the first 30 minutes because I was at a soccer game. I was listening to it via Greg Sharp, and the whole drive home, I'm thinking, am I rushing back home for this? And yeah.
And you did. And you rushed back home, and you saw Indiana score another 42 points on Nebraska by the time you got home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Greg, I don't feel very good talking about this right now. I don't need to relive this.
Okay. So you don't want me to
Okay.
post this question that David Matney asked just a couple moments ago?
Okay. Yes, because David Matney asked it. Yes.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, said, "Was Indiana better than expected, or are we worse than we think we are?" Minnie, I know you have thoughts.
You can read my mind.
Okay.
I think everyone here can read my mind. I'm over it.
All right. So
go ahead, Greg.
I'm going to say this. I don't think we gave Indiana the respect that we should have for a 16th ranked team that was 6-0. Were they better than expected? I think they were probably better than we realized. Are we worse than we think we are? This is where I'm going to surprise many, I think. I'm going to say no. And the reason I say that is because we had a shit day. Like, we had a day where if we won the Powerball lottery, somehow the ticket got destroyed. Like, it was just that type of day for Nebraska. Nothing went our way. It was not indicative of the quality of football we've seen from this team. It was not indicative of the level that they are capable of playing. My concern is that you're going from the frying pan into the fire, because now you have to go to Columbus. And I don't know if this Saturday also is going to be indicative of how good they can. We're going to talk about it. I'm not here to, at this stage, I'm not here to start an argument. I'll start an argument with Minnie when we get into the Ohio State portion of the show. But I think we are better, obviously, than we saw on Saturday.
I have a theory.
Okay.
I think that we came off our bye week and we're like, okay, we're actually a pretty good football team, and we need to prepare for the next big game on our schedule, and that's Ohio State. So I think that, yeah, we knew we had Indiana to play, and we kind of were like, oh yeah, they're good, but they're not that good because it's Indiana. And yeah, I don't think we put the pedal to the metal, not once, during that game, and it showed. And like you said, the wheels fell off, never got on. Who knows? You say tomato, I say tomato. But that's what happened. And we're still preparing for Ohio State.
Cornhusker Corner said about 20 or so minutes ago, Indiana better win the Natty, man. If they do, all is forgotten. All definitely won't be forgotten. It will be forgiven. And to that, I know I said, I think I said it Sunday night, I would root for Indiana, because I'm kind of sick of the Ohio States and the Penn States, and obviously Michigan's kind of played themselves out of the picture now, I feel like. But I would root for Indiana because it's something new. If they win this weekend, then I believe that would be their best start in school history at 8-0.
Who do they play?
I'll find out.
All right. In the meantime, David Matney says, nope.
They play Washington. They should win that.
Well, that's, yeah.
Honest to God, I'm so sorry, Minnie. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm just good at it. They have Washington, then Michigan State, Michigan. Realistically, they might have one more legitimate contest on their schedule, which is November 23rd against Ohio State. And then they finish up with in-state rival Purdue. There's a world where Indiana goes 11-1, if not better.
Oh yeah, but it can't happen 2 seasons in a row. The key to Indiana's success has not been like this magical thing going on there. 1, they have 6-year seniors that are proven that they didn't have to coach up from the beginning. 2, they have a fairly easy schedule. 3, it's Indiana. Nobody's expecting them to be good, and nobody's really preparing for them, except now they are. So, Magic sauce right there. That's it.
The magic sauce.
Done.
Done.
Okay, and coaching. Yes, Signetti is a good coach. Not denying that. Absolutely.
Kaylee Bartle says, I want to say that it's just another loss, but we all still remember the Wisconsin game. Yeah, we all do. It's not just another loss. It hurts because our expectation for Nebraska football is to not lose by 49 points. So when it happens, it's shocking. We hate it.
I don't know why his butt still hurts then.
Well, it's clearly not for the reason you're thinking.
I don't know, but it just sounds funny.
Oh
all right. You want to do some housekeeping?
Yes, I would love to keep house. I would like to do all of that. Let us begin. Yes. I thought you were going to say something.
No, I was expecting you to say, but I need to do this other thing first.
No.
Okay.
It's a great time to remind all of you, especially if you are watching live here on X. I'm sorry, not on X, on YouTube. To make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the Coronation YouTube channel, and ring that bell for notifications so that you don't miss a new live episode, a new uploaded episode. Maybe that's John's instant reactions, and we hope they're from his office or a tree or park bench or something nice. But sometimes they're from his bathroom, and that's just become a part of who he is. A couple of weeks ago, he was living in his bathroom as he was preparing for. And he was able to join us via recorded video for that. But you're not going to get all of this content. You're not going to be notified about it unless you subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Mm-hmm. Trust me, you don't want to have to go into that YouTube search bar and type in Corn Nation all the time. Just subscribe. Mm-hmm. Save yourself the time. While we're at it, speaking of John, he's got some books. One of them, Been Dead, Never Been to Europe. I have the book. It's sitting on my bookshelf right over there. The bookshelf moved. It used to be on this side. Now it's over here. I'm not going to reach for it anymore. But I've read the book. It's fantastic. If you love John, if you know John, you know his sense of humor and his method of storytelling, you're going to fit right in with Been Dead, Never Been to Europe. My recovery from the Widowmaker heart attack and the brain injury that came with it. And we would be doing a huge disservice to John financially if we didn't tell you about our merch site, cobbycorn.com, where you can get excellent merch just like this, the Corn Nation. You have RTFB, you have Secure Your Balls, Man-Killing Mastodons, and so much more at cobbycorn.com. Support us, get a Corn Nation shirt, and stickers. Stickers are over there as well now.
Yeah, and Nebraska sports fan wants to know, where is John? And then best friend of the show, Josh Hansen, follows it up by, where's John talking today? Where's John talking today? Whoa. Greg, I should have let
Classic.
you sing it.
I could, but
you can sing it in key. I can't.
Well, I can sing. That's why.
I know.
I'm actually a very good singer.
Okay, where is John? He's not necessarily here on Thursdays.
No, he quit the show.
Got
to be too much. What happened was back in December, one of you Chatterfields, I'm not going to mention any names or point any fingers, reached out.
Greg, are you saying John isn't here because of me?
No, what I'm saying is, will you let me finish the story?
Okay.
Someone reached out and said, hey, I'd like to help the show any way that I can. And so I got a message saying, so-and-so, not mentioning any names, wants to be on the show. I said, okay. And what happened was John eventually just phased himself out. He's like, she's happier and more optimistic, and you don't need crusty old curmudgeon like me is, I mean, paraphrasing, but if you know John, it's not too far off from what he actually would have said. So he's like, you two are great by yourself. You don't need a third wheel, blah, blah, blah. And that was that. John hired his replacement.
Andy Harris says John is still on his toilet. That's why he's not here. He might be. You never know.
Sometimes he does pop in. So we have to be on our very second to best behavior. Let's see. Oh, Pitt says there should be a law against kids' soccer games during Husker football games.
I totally agree. I've lost so many hours of Husker football because of soccer.
Which brings me, what in the wide world of sports?
I love my kids. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
I just don't want to watch them play soccer on Saturdays.
I sent you an email earlier this week with a bunch of rules. Minnie, do you remember that?
I didn't even see it, Greg.
What the
I
shit?
didn't know you emailed it to me.
Oh my gosh. So anyway,
okay. I forgot you even did this. Yes. Okay.
So this is easily from, well, it's definitely from the Bo Pelini era. I think it's probably 14 years ago. Popped up in my Facebook memories. But it's the laws for Husker Nation, and they're outdated. I didn't get a chance to update them. I might hit a few of them now and then hit a few next week. But one of them is, oh gosh dang, it was just here. It is about no weddings on game days. Let's see. Never cheer for Colorado. I feel like that's a given. Never pass out during a Husker football game, no matter how drunk you are, even at your own house. You are then at the mercy of who else is with you. That's a pretty good one. You should be able to identify all 22 starters on the field. And it still must be.
I agree. Although, I'm not going to lie. It threw me off with all white uniforms. They look so different. They look like they're different people almost.
And they played like different people too. So Fred says, quoting, who's Bo Panilli?
Panilli.
Let's see. Rostovsky says, by the way, flipping that offensive tackle means Mosey gets to focus 100% of his efforts on Dawson Merritt. We seem to be close to flipping him.
Oh, I like that idea.
So
I hope so.
All right. There are more. We'll try to get to them over time. We got plenty of time.
Yeah, I like that, Greg. I'm looking at it right now. You should have just said I emailed it to you because I don't read emails.
I did.
Okay.
Husker for Life says Kurt Signet, good coach, but has the personality of an outdoor shithouse, which I didn't know they made indoor shithouses, so I've learned something tonight. All right, Minnie, let us roll on. What in the wide world of sports? Oh, no. No, I can't believe it. I got to the end of the notes. And
I was wondering when you would see that. Okay, good.
All right. So Ohio State, they are coming off a bye week, and their last game was a loss in Eugene to Oregon. I think it moved them from number 2 to number 4. They're number 4, and they have no weaknesses, no gaps in the armor, no cracks in the foundation.
This is what Matt Rule said. That's what Matt Rule said. Of course, every team has weaknesses, especially when your starting left tackle gets injured.
Yeah.
And so guess what? Now they're playing with their backup. Our game. First time he's starting. He's been there 4 years already. What does that say?
Means they have a fair amount of talent ahead of him.
Yeah, but he's starting.
It means he's also like 22, 23 years old, has been in the program, knows the calls and the line changing.
Okay, don't look at the positives. I'm looking at the negatives.
Oh, no, we're totally going to be able to bull rush him, get around him, disrupt him, and we're going to create a tremendous amount of pressure from that side on the quarterback.
There you go. Thank you very much for highlighting the things I wanted to. The backup is probably a starter in any other program? ?
Yeah, but not just that, but who said that?
David Matney. He's
I'm sorry.
like on
I'm sorry.
fire.
I'm sorry. Who said
Living in
that?
Omaha, the official realtor, and the guy who owes you a koozie.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast. He makes us feel at home every Thursday night here on the 5 Heart Podcast, and he can put you in the home of your dreams in the greater Omaha area.
Greg, I would like it if you just did a jingle for him as well.
Who's David moving today? Who's not? I don't want to.
That would be good, actually.
Poor guy. It's better than me singing him a made-up jingle on the spot.
Funny.
All right, so this is a business trip at the end of the day.
And let's take care of business.
And I wasn't entirely sure that was where you were going with that, but I'm so glad we got there.
My gosh.
What?
It's a business trip.
It's a what? It's a what? It's a business trip.
Is that a song? Okay. So Ruhl and Ryan Day were assistants on the same staff at Temple under Al Golden. Did you know that?
I did not.
You did?
Largely, I mean, I probably should have. It's just that because Ryan Day uses so much product in his beard, I feel like he's actually 15 to 20 years older than Matt Ruhl because he's really trying to cover it up.
He's actually younger by 5 years. Yeah.
I don't believe it.
He is.
Show me the stats. No, I'm kidding. Don't.
I probably have him. Anyways, Ruhl was the what does that say? Defensive line coach? Nope, linebacker coach. Linebacker coach. Defensive line coach, actually, is what it says. And then Ryan Day was the wide receivers coach at Temple in 2006. It's kind of interesting.
Hard to believe they go back almost 20 years.
Yeah, it is. You want to read that? Or are you just going to pop it up there?
That's just for the benefit of the viewing audience.
Okay.
We got to drive more people to our community, our fan family, which I kind of forgot to do during the housekeeping is, hey, we enjoy all of you. And the best way I feel like to enjoy this show is on YouTube, where you can really be a part of the gang. And so wherever you're watching, and we know that a lot of you are watching, come on over to YouTube. You probably got the app on your phone. It's fine. It'll searching for Coordination and the 5 Heart Podcast will improve your YouTube algorithm.
It'll also extend your life.
Okay.
Hey, how do you know it won't?
I don't know.
It's good for you.
I guess the only way we'll find out is mortality tables and things like that. Did you watch the 5 Heart Podcast? Yes, no. What age did you die? Before 60? After 60?
You can't ask. That was funny. Are you going to ask somebody who's dead?
I cut my ways. Fred says Minnie's the only person who can drink one White Claw for 2 hours in the whole world.
It's still this much full.
Oh,
but it's good. It's yummy. Okay. Let's see here. Where are we? Okay. Justin Fry, the offensive line coach at OSU, also coached with Ruhl at Temple. And so did Larry Johnson, was the defensive line coach he's currently the defensive line coach at OSU, and he worked with Ruhl at Penn State.
Something about it.
Well, there's a lot of connections. Do you think when Rule goes to Columbus, do you think they all get together and have like a dinner of some sort? Like,
hopefully not during the season. Hopefully
do you think
not.
they want it? Do you think because they know each other that it makes it even more personal? Like, do you think they want to actually beat each other's ass because they're friends?
I think it's all business. I think it's all professional. I really
think
do.
It would make me want to actually like show how much better I am. No? If I were a dude, I'd be like, man, I gotta teach him a lesson. We're friends and all, but yeah. Am I right?
I think it's all business, Minnie.
Okay. All right. I am not searching for my next daytime soap opera plot, Aaron Keene.
Remember when you used to mispronounce his name and I had to tell you what was up?
That was forever ago.
Mm-hmm. Pepperidge Farm remembers, and so do I. And I have a bad memory, notoriously bad memory.
Okay. And so Rule said today, if I had to pick one thing for us, it's more explosive plays on offense. And that's where the quote, and I think I started because he responded. I didn't want to call him out and then not. Okay, Husker for Life said, you are correct, Minnie. 8 to 10 play drives. My point is we need to establish an offense and not live and die on big plays. So, thoughts, Greg?
I would like to see us move the ball more effectively in any whatever it looks like. Move the ball downfield, cross the goal line, put up 6. That's all I want. I don't care. I love it, an old school like ground and pound. Don't start with me, Fred. But like kill the clock. We didn't see enough of that last year. We didn't see enough of that earlier this season at times. We didn't have to. We were coasting with big wins over UTEP, Colorado, Northern Iowa, etc. I want to see us actually control the game, to be able to control, take care of everything in all facets, and to be able to do it in the conference. Because we're not counting Purdue. No offense to Purdue. We did what we needed to do at Purdue, and it still wasn't that pretty. So as long as they score 6, I don't care. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care if it's a pick 6, some type of kick return, punt return, which will never happen, I feel like, not with our special team situation. And I don't care if it takes 2 plays or 20. Go down the field, put up touchdowns, and let the defense do what it needs to do.
Okay. So I think the reason why Rule said we have a lot of 8, 9, 10 play drives. We'd like some 4 play drives that result in a touchdown because it's hard to do 10 play drives consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Is because of if you look at it, I mean, if you have 4 chances, four plays to make a touchdown, you have less chances to make mistakes.
Agreed.
Okay. So I think that's the bottom line. Plus he wants to have more explosive plays on offense, which we desperately need.
We do, but we also need, it's really tough to, because the defense has Nebraska figured out because Nebraska can't run the ball. They're not doing anything creatively. They're not doing anything decisively. They're not really utilizing any misdirection with the exception of maybe giving it to Ja'Cory Barney on a sweep. It's and those are being snuffed out. Like as talented as he is, when it's predictable, when the defense knows it's coming, they're able to shed blocks and make that stop in the backfield. Mm-hmm. We're just not doing enough in the run game to make the defense think that there's anything but a passing game. And so, I think what disappointed me the most is that Indiana was doing to us what we were doing to teams earlier in the season, getting pressure on our quarterback with 3 or 4 guys, and that leaves a lot of guys out there in coverage, and that definitely didn't help, Dylan's, completion percentage or, guys being able to get separation. So we just got manhandled up front, and we didn't have a run game to counter it. So it was a bad day all around. When we look at Ohio State, and or at least talking about what Matt Rule wants, bigger plays. Again, I'm all for bigger plays, but it's high risk, high reward, and we've seen some big plays this year that, again, those 50-50 balls, things like that. If we can pull it off, great. This is going to be a tough week to pull it off.
Joe Lakis agrees with you. He says, piss poor blocking schemes is the root in the run game.
Yeah.
Piss poor.
And here's Mr. Matney. When you pass, 2 out of 3 things could go wrong. You know that many? What are the 3 options on a pass?
They could catch it.
Mm-hmm.
It could be intercepted.
Mm-hmm.
Or
it could be incomplete.
Yes.
So, not great odds. But we can't run the ball.
They have to figure out how to run the ball. They just have to figure out how to run the ball more.
And I still think that the running back by committee, is a hindrance at this point. I really do. I think you have to, hitch your wagons to one of the guys and say go. And honestly, it's probably going to be Emmett Johnson. If you want to bring Dante in time and time, here and there, but
Craig, really. The reason Dante Dowdell is such a good running back is he can take the hits.
No, the problem with Dante Dowdell is he's looking for contact. And yeah, it was great that I say great. I'm not trying to not great that anybody got injured, but when he sought out contact with Shiloh Sanders, ended up breaking the kid's arm, but he's not shifty enough. He has he's a straight line runner, power back, but he's not going to be able to evade tackles. Emmett Johnson has that little extra giddy up. And we need that because we don't always want to be tackled. Like, we would like to go past the defender and into the end zone, not run into the defender and then fall down. Pass leads to points, running into will fall down.
Would you read this from Kaylee Bartel?
No, it's Bartles.
Bartels.
It was Bartles. We figured it out. Kaylee Bartles says, it would be nice to see more attacks up the middle of the field instead of the sidelines. Aiming for 10 to 20 yards seems absent in the playbook unless it's 3rd and 20, and we still shoot to the side. And when you shoot to the side, you're attacking on another probably 10 to 20 yards that you're asking Dylan to throw it as well because of the angle. The bread and butter is the stuff that's over the middle, but we tend to abandon that. We don't look that way. We don't always look to Tom Sfidoni. There was a great comment here earlier. I'm going to highlight it. It was here. Here we go. Andy Harris, 927, says, why can't Fidoni and Nelson both be in on the same play in a bunch formation with Barney?
That's a good idea. I like that idea. The thing is those throws right up the middle like that are fast, right? They're just like shotgun type throws, and you have to have sure hands. And the thing is Isaiah Nair has had chances to catch those balls, and he hasn't. But Thomas Fidoni has, and he did a lot last game.
91 yards, career high, I believe.
Is that what it says?
I don't know. I thought that's what.
Yes, you're right. You're right. 6 receptions. Great.
Also
6
career high.
receptions.
Also a career. We can't get the man into the damn end zone.
And a 28-yard long play.
Yeah. A couple missed tackles here. I know I caused some hell for that. But I don't know. I like the idea of Fidone and Nelson both in on the same play. I don't know if – I'm not saying Carter Nelson's not up to, being like just a traditional tight end at this point. But I know that he's definitely athletic, but if blocking like a D end or a linebacker, he'd give him a little bump. I don't know how long he.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
Please. I'm not even trying to be shitty about it. I'm genuinely curious on what you have to say.
So today Rule was asked about that, and he said guys like Carter Nelson are gonna have to play a little more and step up because the reason he hasn't been on the field as much, well, obviously he's also learning. He got there late and he's learning all that, but is because the older guys that have been there were taking the field. And so now that, some of the older guys are getting hurt, he's going to have to play a little more. So, yeah, we can be looking for him for sure.
I would wish he would have had more of an opportunity against Indiana. Kaylee showing her exceptional genius and aptitude for the game. When she says, agree about the DD, Greg, 100%. He wants to hit people and hate sidestepping defenders. Look, again.
Greg, I don't need people to agree with me to feel good about myself. Okay.
Well, it must be nice. No, you know why? Because you got a lot of people all the time in here saying, love always has her hair looking real nice and everything else. Like you get all other types. I just need, I'm here for the sport. Okay.
any other thing you can get.
I'm confused by that. We should probably move on. So as we sidestep from Thomas Fidone and hope that he has another big weekend, there are ways to use Fidone successfully and ways to use him unsuccessfully. Don't throw a tight end screen to him in the backfield. That's not his strength. Find him 10, 15 yards up the field. Ja'Cory Barney, we talked about, he definitely didn't have a great start to the game, finished with 8 receptions. He only had the team's only touchdown, didn't have a ton of yards. But I feel like I don't know if we're asking too much of him, but I do feel like there's a certain reliance on Ja'Cory Barney.
Yeah. And I don't think we're asking too much of him. I think that kid wants to play ball. I think he has fun. He makes it look fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's getting as much play time. So, yeah, he started at Indiana. He had 8 receptions for 32 yards and also a 7-yard touchdown.
Who said that?
Get him the ball as much as possible. Did you say that too?
No, but again, we can't be one-dimensional.
No, we can't. We're not.
But that's what you're asking.
No, I'm not.
You said get him the ball as much as possible.
Yeah. There's certain playmakers, guys that you can get the ball and they will make a play no matter what happens. I'm not saying just only throw to Ja'Cory Barney. That's not what I'm saying, Greg.
That's what you said. You said get him the ball as much as possible. You have 80 plays and you throw them to him 40 times and have him run jet sweeps 40 times. Like we just talked about Thomas Fidone. We talked about seeing more Carter Nelson. We'd like to see some production from Isaiah Nayor and Jamal Banks.
Exactly.
We'd like to see Jalen Lloyd.
I'm saying.
But you can't say
what? I can't say get Barney the ball as much as possible?
No, because then you're taking it out of the other playmakers' hands.
No, I'm not. I am not. Just because you give to one doesn't take from the other.
That's how it works. There's not an infinite amount of offensive plays in the game.
Welcome to literal theater, everyone. Okay, Greg. Jeez, thanks, Keen. All right. Why are you picking on me?
I don't know.
Now you're not even agreeing with me. Okay.
That was so sad. That made me sad now when you pouted. Can't even do it. Keep a straight face. Sorry. Yes. Section 4, Article B, subsection 4, whatever. We do have to improve on rushing. It's so sad that Heinrich Harburg was our leading rusher at Indiana with 33 yards. So.
I don't get it. He's a beast. He loves to run.
Yeah.
He loves to run as much as possible. And I love that about him. Let the kid run. Get him the ball as much as possible.
Flip over my very heavy desk. It's bullshit.
I know. I'll never say that again.
Highlander Gunn with an interesting observation. Minnie, you feeling okay?
I feel great.
You look
I feel
buzzed.
really good. Thank you.
Are you buzzed?
No. I don't think so. Maybe. It's almost half gone.
Pit Snipe Husker says, we pick on Minnie when we get bored. Entertain us.
Yes.
That's what we were doing. Apparently, I'm sleeping on the job over here.
All right, good.
Fred says, who's keeping Harburg from running, Minnie? Oh, yeah, your boy Dylan.
Okay. Good point. Good point.
Vince Watson wants to know when the last time was we had an actual running back go over 100 yards. And I would say probably been a couple of years. Hadn't happened this year because we've been running back by committee. And everybody got hurt last year.
In a game? In one game?
Yeah, that's how that works.
Because this year they're probably going to each have 100 yards for the season. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, some of them are not going to see 100 yards for the season. Let me find out.
Okay, Greg, you find that out, and we will remember where we are. Okay. So, yeah, you already talked about Heinrich Harburg rushing, being the lead rusher for Indiana, the Indiana game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Grant had 5 of them in 2022.
So it wasn't that long ago.
No, it just seems like it. Just seems like it.
Yeah, and they wouldn't let him have the ball last year.
No, it had the case of the dropsies.
Yes, he did. Wonder what happened to him. On OSU, Rule said their offense is such a good perimeter team. They block and get yards. Defensively, we weren't very good in that area last week. So coming out of last week, we understand that we're going to have to play in space, both offensively and defensively. So they're good at the things we're not very good at.
Yeah.
Okay. But last week, Micaiah Bear, guess what? He had, I think, 3 solo tackles. He had 3. And 1 assist, and 2 tackles for loss at 10 yards and a sack for 9 yards. He was on fire.
He
That number
made a really
42.
nice play on that sack. Went in, untouched. At the same time, you had. I'll tell you what, Malcolm Hartsock making the most of his opportunities because, he's a tremendous tackler, open field tackler. He always seems to be in the right place. I believe he leads the team in interceptions. I think maybe 4 or 5 now. The one that he had on Saturday was interception. He returned for 26 yards, and he also had a pass breakup. And Giff, the super senior captain, I believe, captains kind of rotate around, but Isaac Gifford became the 10th defensive back in program history to reach the 200 tackle milestone, and he did that at Indiana. So
good for him. I mean, I like that went totally unnoticed, and he didn't even mention it. He took the podium this week, and he didn't even mention it.
What did he say at the podium, Minnie?
Oh, Lord. Oh, boy. He said a lot of things. A lot of things. He said, yeah, what? It was an ass whooping. I've got my ass beat before. I mean, he said that. He did. He said that. He also said, guys are pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Is there more?
No, it's enough.
Yeah.
Tell me about this opportunity offense that you highlighted.
Where?
That's the one that's currently highlighted right underneath me.
Oh, David Matney. Okay, I thought I was reading something.
Who?
Living in Omaha. He doesn't have it in his title, so why should I say it?
It is a title of honor and prestige.
Okay, so from now on, you should call me Minnie, the wonderful co-host Hunt.
Yeah.
Great.
Just kidding. I can come up with something better than that.
Okay. The reason I highlighted that is because he said we have an opportunity offense, meaning that we're just hoping for an opportunity to score.
He's not wrong. It's a lot like my business. I could sit back and wait for someone to ring my phone and say, hey, I'd really like to sit down and talk about this and purchase, do some business. But I'm going to have a lot better luck if I pick up the phone and make the dials, make those contacts, make those appointments, and say, hey, here are some options, yada, yada, yada. We cannot rest. We cannot sit back and wait for good things to happen in Nebraska football. We have to go out there and fight for it. We didn't see a whole lot of that fight last Saturday. I think that the lack of fight lit a fire under a lot of these guys. Win, lose, or draw this Saturday, I think we're going to see a different team than the one that we saw last weekend.
I agree. Totally agree. I think the keys to victory are this, okay? Nebraska defense will have to play its best game of the season. Number 1, we need to force turnovers. We need to limit their scoring. And on offense, Dylan Raiola will have to have a career performance, which we all know he's more than capable of doing. One of the good things about Raiola being our quarterback, Greg, is remember when he was committed to Ohio State? He knows a lot of the players. He knows the coaches. He's not going to go in there intimidated. Not that I think he'd gets intimidated easily, but I think that also will filter to the rest of the team, right? Because he's a leader. Go ahead, Greg. You wanna? Don't do that.
No, I was listening. I thought there was more. I thought there were more keys to the game.
There are. And I'm going to let you take over because I miss you talking.
All right. So one of the things we definitely need to do better, obviously, and I know I saw a lot of people in the comments saying bring back Ron Brown, whatever it takes. We need to get better perimeter blocking from our wide receivers, and we need a running game that can consistently produce positive yardage. And that's not always, I'll say this, that's not always on the running back, but that's on the coaches, that's on the offensive line, that's on so much schematically. And, I believe that to an extent, the blight that the running back room, because it's a talented running back room. I don't think there's anybody who would argue with that. But they have been, like, some of you may catch this reference. There's a show that used to be on the CW years back, and it's called Arrow, and it's about the Green Arrow. It's a DC comic book show. But it's like, you have failed this city. He's talking to the villain, the bad guy. I feel like we could say to the coaches, you have failed this running back room. Because there's a lot of talent there, but they haven't given them enough schematically for the talented players that there are to make an impact. They just haven't done that. So,
best friend of the show, Josh Hansen's brain like the back of your hand. What do you think he means by this comment?
I don't know. I think it was a typo. I think it was a fail of proofread. I think it's supposed to say, I don't know how they haven't had Ron Brown kicking every wide receiver's ass until they block someone already. Don't be doing that to my boy.
I love Josh Hansen. He's fantastic.
Evening, Orson. Great seeing you.
Oh no.
Yeah, Aaron's
okay.
Like he meant wide receivers, and Rascal says, "Holy shit, Minnie's White Claw made an appearance on cam. It's there from time to time."
Yeah. Okay. So I did a little bit of research, guys.
Thank you, Justin. I caught that. I'm glad you did too. That's.
I know Josh Hansen is so freaking awesome. I just love him to pieces. I have to give him a hard time. Okay. I wanted to show you guys this because I was doing a little bit of research.
The one other thing we need. The last key to victory.
It's true. It's a winning mentality. Oh, sorry, Greg. No, I didn't realize. I ruined it. Okay.
I thought you could tell I was working up to something there.
In my defense, you're always working up to something. I don't know.
You know what? I'll take that as a compliment.
Okay, good.
Building up to a better crescendo. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. A winning. Go ahead, Greg. Finish it.
BFOTS Josh Hansen says, "Wow, this show is both great and terrible for my ego. Is this how Greg feels every week? Pretty much."
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Josh.
The final key to victory is right there. It is a winning mentality.
Yes, and it
there it is. Oh, that's the image? Okay.
This is the image, and I'll tell you why. What do you see on this image, Greg?
I don't know. I have to make it full screen because I'm old and I got bad eyes. Okay. I see the schedule.
Yeah.
The two of the last 4 meetings decided by 9 points or less.
No, that's not what jumps out at me. this is the
Home
official.
games in bold.
This is the official game notes. It's the same. It goes out. The schedule's the same on the first page. On the first page of game notes.
Is this where you're going to say that Ohio State hasn't played anybody? No. Or the one person the one true competition they played, they lost?
I wonder if chat sees it. I'm surprised. Nobody's said
Iowa scores 21 in second quarter, pull away. D records 4 sacks. What are we looking for?
Look at December 7th on Ohio State's schedule. We don't have a December 7th.
Oh, because they have an expectation of being there.
That
interesting.
Gets me. That gets me. And I think that says it all right there.
I didn't know.
No, if I'm just this casual Ohio State fan and I go to game notes and I look at this and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're going to the Big Ten championship. Okay. And then I'm this diehard Husker fan and I go look at the Huskers thing and I'm like, oh, I guess they're not going to the Big Ten championship. Why is it not on our schedule? That's what I mean.
For the last mentality. But for the last 20 years, we haven't played. Well, let's go. For the last 15 years, we haven't played at a level that would, deserve having the conference championship game listed on our schedule.
Greg.
Yes, Minnie. Where did I go wrong this time?
You got to do better than that. Okay. It's a mentality thing. You don't take it off till you're not going. Right?
You're mathematically eliminated. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell you what, this is what I'm going to do. Because I can tell that this affects you so much, I'm going to reach out to the Nebraska website creators. I'm going to say, hey, can you put December 7th up there? I've got a friend who's really concerned that we don't have the winning mentality because it's not listed on our website, on our game notes. And they will look at me and they say, yes, ma'am. What do I know or not know? I don't know.
It's every little thing. Every little thing.
She does is magic.
To have that winning attitude with every little thing.
Many speaking facts is what VP says.
I'm glad he changed his name. Thank you.
Joe Laleka says, incidentally, back in the Auburn days, scheduled did list bowl games in the pre-conference playoffs era. So,
oh my God. There you go.
Raji agrees. Raji agrees with you. And as we all know, if you get Justin Raji to agree with you, it's...
There you go. Yeah.
I love this chair.
I know.
I'm just so happy I can just do this.
All right. Well, guys, that was the only negative thing I wanted to bring to people's attention. Okay. Don't want to harp on things, but we need to change that. Because I also did a little bit of research for our health and wellness.
Oh shit.
Mental state of mind.
Oh shit.
And I wanted to pull some quotes that were kind of lost in the artifacts out.
Now hold on here. BFOTS Josh Hansen says, I think the conference championship game is on the schedule posters they give out every year. So maybe it's just not on the website.
Okay. Well, that's good. There must be another person in charge of that.
What?
Living in Omaha, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, David Matney. Did I say it backwards?
You did say it backwards. Try again. Crying out loud. It's like you hear it 14 times a week for the last 10 months and you can't figure it out.
Okay. David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast. No, that's not right either.
Living in Omaha, David Manny. I'm not even reading it this one. It's all over here. Living in Omaha, David Manny, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says,
before we worry about schedule, let's find a kicker and a long snapper. And John Hull has done a pretty decent job.
very little.
Yeah, he actually did really well in Indiana.
Kaylee Bartles. My God, can't even say his name right. What's even the point of this show? Kaylee, thank you.
That's a long title.
It's not long enough. The man deserves it. All right, you know what? I'm going to show this to you. Thank you, Josh, BFOTS, Josh Hansen, for pointing this out. All right?
Okay.
Look at this. This is the 2024 Husker schedule. You see 12-7 Big Ten Championship TBD Bowl on the official posters.
I like it. Good.
So, quit your sassing about the internets.
I'm not going to quit because it's actually on our game notes page where I get all of our stats, which I forgot to even put up when we were talking about Ohio State. And okay, so here's their stats.
Yeah.
Do we even want to look at this right now?
Nope.
Okay. There's one.
All I know is that Will Howard chose them over us, and it created the opportunity for Dylan Raiola, so I'm happy.
There you go. Yep. And also, here's our comparison, which I also get from the game notes. Yep.
Yeah, they're a little bit more efficient in the game of football than we are.
They are. Just a little. But it doesn't mean that there's not a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance. There's always a chance, Greg. And by the way, did you see we reduced the amount of penalties that we had in the last game? I think we only had 4 total. So we're working towards an improvement, incremental improvements.
It's true. But my gosh, we're still so bad at penalties.
That's because of the first few games, remember?
I just feel like we've been really bad.
Is this depressing? Is this depressing you? Okay, I'm going to remove it. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that right now. What I wanted to share with you guys is quotes that I found in the faraway archives of the internet. Okay, you have to dig for these, but they show we all love Matt Rule, right? Even though we're not happy, right now because we lost, we love Matt Rule. But everyone's like, Marcus Satterfield, Tony White. So I thought, I'm gonna look for some good things that people have said about Marcus Satterfield and Tony White, or things that talk about their characters. So, Greg, you have such a great voice. Would you mind reading these?
See, now that you need something from me, you decide to be nice to me. Yes. Marcus Satterfield shared father's words of wisdom when he was coaching at Temple. Quote, keep your head down, work hard, say yes sir, no sir. If they ask you to scrape the gum off the road, you scrape the gum off the road. If they ask you to solve a blitz issue, you go solve a blitz issue and treat both jobs the same. No job's too big, no job's too small. Prove that you can outwork everybody in the office. Stay as late as you possibly can, get up as early as you possibly can, and just always be around. That's what he said. Just work hard and things will happen. End quote. That's good stuff there. I like the if they ask you to scrape the gum off the road, scrape the gum off the road. If they ask you to solve the blitz issue, solve the blitz issue and treat both jobs the same.
Where is that mentality? I feel like that mentality is so lost on, am I wrong? On today's generation?
Society?
Yeah.
General society. Yeah.
But yeah, I love that. That's what it takes to succeed. Greg, come back.
What?
Come back. Come back.
I'm here. I'm sorry. It's doing the little things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you do the little things right, when you do the little things well, then instead of like bad things compounding and snowballing, then you can have good things compounding and snowballing going your way. Just start with the little things. That's why, what was it? It was, I don't know exactly what branch of the military, but some retired general, something like, I got to start my day every day by making my bed, because it's something simple, but it is something I can check off the list and I can start my day with an achievement.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to go out and beat Ohio State in the first quarter. You have to do the little things well, do the little things the right way. It can be done. It can be done.
Yeah, it can. It can be. I love that. I think it's wonderful. Also, about Tony White, there was one thing that I dug up. Yes.
Okay. And this comes from Bobby Field. Said about Tony White when he was a player, quote, "It's absolutely no exaggeration to say there were times throughout his career where he would just study an opponent for so long," former UCLA assistant Bobby Field said, "and he would pick up on something that maybe we as a staff hadn't even noticed about a certain player, certain stance, a cheating of alignment that gave him a tip. It was like we had a coach on the field during the game," end quote.
I love that. As a player, he was that good. He studied it. And I think that's huge. The mentality carries over, and I think it's wonderful that we have them as assistant coaches. That's all I'm going to say.
Again, I'm fans of both guys. Obviously, Tony White, his unit took I can't believe I'm setting this up for Fred. I apologize to everybody, especially you, Minnie, but the defense took a step back. They did not play as sharp and as crisp last week. Mm-hmm. And we don't know really what to expect from this Saturday, but I know that this defense will bounce back. Like, they will play better games the rest of the season. I think Indiana was just a weird anomaly. Let's put it. It's behind us. Let's focus on the future.
Well said, Greg. I love that. Now, for the next portion. True. Okay. Good point. Guys, we have another special treat for you tonight.
What was a good point?
Let's put Indiana behind us.
No, I thought you were talking about Fred's comment. I think you said that was a good point.
I didn't even read Fred's comment, and I'm not going to.
Come on.
No.
You're no fun sometimes.
I am fun.
Not if you're not going to say fun words. And
I'm going to prove it in just a second. I'm going to prove it.
Is this another edition of?
Yeah. Well, this week. We need it. We need it for, just for some fun. Just for some, as they say, shits and giggles. Okay, Greg.
Whatever you say, boss.
You ready?
Do I have a choice?
No.
All right. Am I clicking the button?
You click the button.
All right. I'm clicking buttons, people. Oh, jeez.
I'm like eating carrots. Hold on.
Highlander Gun says, "Oh God." VP's crying, laughing. JC's laughing out loud. This is nuts. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says good grief. And BFOTS Josh Hansen says, wait, what's happening? Where did Minnie go? I am very confused. Fred says it's 10:37. Minnie goes Ryan Day Purge Mask FML. Vin says next Thursday's Halloween. Can't wait to see what Minnie has in store. Yeah, did we ever figure that out, Minnie?
No, not yet.
Okay, we didn't figure that out. We may not figure that out. Highlander Gun says you look like a young Colonel Sanders.
Okay.
Colonel Harlan Sanders of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
It's a good thing there's 2 of them. There we go. Okay, ready?
Aaron Keene says, hey, look, it's Minnie Rogers. She sang The Gambler. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says someone put us out of our misery. And BFOTS Josh Hansen says, I'm pretty positive I saw young Gandalf for a second. I didn't, Justin, this was new to me. This was not, I didn't know about this. Didn't have this on my bingo card. And Minnie, you're a little blurry, so go.
I know.
Smudge over your camera. Just run your.
Not it.
No, it
That's
is.
not it.
That's how it resets. Trust me. That's why I do it about every week.
What do you? Oh,
yeah, because that's how it autofocuses. See,
that's so weird. Okay, ready?
I like how you were giving me shit like I didn't know.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Right.
Hey, everybody, we apologize.
Good to see you, old friend. What's it been? Some 20 years?
Just about 2006 to be precise, when we were both assistants at Temple.
It's been a heck of a time. You still preaching it's all about the process to your team?
Wait, before we go, can you go, you shall not pass?
No. Come on.
That's right. Just one rep at a time. I just want them to play one rep at a time.
Well, that was a tough loss to Indiana last week, so I can understand you saying that.
That's right. And that was a tough loss to Oregon you had right before your bye. As I said earlier this week, doesn't matter if you lose by 6-7, it's still a loss. Or if you lose 6-7, it's still a loss.
No offense, old friend, but this week I told our team I wanted them to play with anger against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We know you're coming to Columbus and you're going to play really, really hard, but it's always been Ohio State against the world.
Easy there, friend. I'm not Lou Holtz. What he said about your team, understandable, because you never seem to win the big one. You just got to fight. You fight.
That's right. I'm just not going to stand for people disrespecting Ohio State. We are physical in every game we play. May the best team win.
If we die, we die. I think this podcast just died a little bit.
Greg, that was...
Did you just give the theater segment an outro? Oh, you had to change your... Okay. That's like Ryan Day mysteriously just flew in and flew out. I know.
There he went.
VP says, oh, that's not supposed to be young John? Rostovsky says, if you close your eyes, it's like Ryan Day's in the room with you. And living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says, is there anyone that says, yeah, let's not do this? No.
Well, we did it.
We did.
That was good. Okay. We're ready for Ohio State, guys. We can do this.
We are. Josh says, wait, that was Minnie? Give her the Oscar.
Thank you, Josh. I'd like to thank all the little people.
That's me. I'm the little people that she stepped on the way to theater gold. Although if it's theater, it's not really an Oscar, it'd be a Tony. I wish I didn't know that. All right. Let's see. Get rid of that. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, says, are we regressing or just hitting tougher competition? By the way, he said this an hour and a half ago. So we appreciate your patience, David.
Yep. I don't think we're regressing. I don't think, we definitely did hit tougher competition. But we also didn't come prepared. I don't care what anyone says. We weren't prepared.
No, I tend to agree. And also, I think I've maybe softened my stance. I know I said this Sunday night, is that we peaked against Colorado. And I do feel like our on-field performance might indicate that, but we still have five games left. There's definitely time to bounce back and right the ship and win a few more games and go bowling, because that is the only measuring stick to mark improvement is if we make it to a bowl game this year. Mm-hmm. Being 5-7 will not be improvement. And you talk about Matt Rule being on the hot seat. If we have won 5 games by the middle of October, and then we kind of do what we did last year and we just backslide into, an early off season, it'd be a ticking clock, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think his buyout's too much. It's an 8-year.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're not talking about that. We're not there, Greg.
No. Let's see. Speaking of that, Adam Halperin says, all I want is 6 wins this season. Anything over 6 wins would be amazing, but please get to 6 wins. So,
yeah. That's all we want as a fan base. I think that really we'd be happy with just 6 wins. So
the one and only Diamond Dave says, are we missing Corcoran? The offensive line seems like they should be better with all the experience. I'll say this. I've been impressed with the way Gunnar Gatula has been handling himself at left tackle. It's just not been.
They're gonna have? You know who they're going to have there this week?
No.
They should have Micah Mazuka starting there.
At left tackle. With Henry Lutovsky at right guard?
I think that's it. Yeah.
So it's going to be.
Today.
Left to right is going to be Mazuka, Justin Evans, Ben Scott, Henry Lutovsky, and Bryce Benhart. Okay.
Yes.
So.
I think Mazuka actually offers a lot of aggression, which I like.
Okay.
On the football field.
Okay. Hey, I'm not here to judge. Whatever. Moving on. BFOTS.
Raji.
Oh,
sorry. Justin Raji said it was 56 million is the buyout.
But I thought it was like more back heavy. Like when, or maybe it was his pay. Something was more, anyway, moving on. I don't remember all the contracts. BFOTS, Josh Hansen says, Greg, if you call her co-host of the year, I'm calling Mike. I never said that. Those words never. No. I'll come up with a good catchy.
Oh, yeah. I know that the first time. Okay, so Greg has another show, if you don't know this, and it's called Nerds United. And it's very nerdy, but cute and fun. And he does it on Friday nights, and he has another co-host named Mike. And the first time I watched his show, he said, "Thanks, Mike, for being the co-host of the year." And this is like, I don't know, maybe 6 months into him and I working together, and I took such offense to it. I said, "What do you mean?" Like maybe like he was trying to poke at me Like, hey, this guy's way better than you. That's what he's always called him.
Mike's been the co-host of the year since like 2020, 2019. So
yeah,
pump the brakes.
And that's okay.
Indignation.
That's okay. I'm fine with it now.
Husker Bob with a great question. Does Greg ever drink St. Louis's own Schlafly beer? I love Schlafly beers. They have a tap room in Maplewood. They have, you can do a brewery tour that's closer to downtown. They have a great variety. I love their American Pale Ale, their Kolsch, a wide variety of the Schlafly offerings. Of the bigger two breweries in St. Louis, be Schlafly and Anheuser-Busch, I would always lean the Schlafly direction. So,
okay.
In Ad Blue, sounds dangerously close to an ad for Blue Chew. We're not going to go there. Says, if Vanderbilt can beat Alabama, anything is possible.
That's right. Maybe I'll wear that on my t-shirt to the game. Just Vanderbilt can beat Alabama. Nebraska can beat Ohio State. As I'm there at tailgates with OSU fans.
They would probably look at you like you're crazy. But, and also, because we kind of hold ourselves to a ridiculous standard, the fact that, if you were around Nebraska tailgates, even with our 20 years of mediocrity or less, they'll still be like, oh, I can't believe you're comparing Nebraska to Vanderbilt. Oh,
I know. It would probably offend more Nebraska Husker fans than it would anything else.
All right, Minnie. So I think we might actually get this done in under 2 hours. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I do.
It's that time.
I gotta pack.
You haven't done that yet? No. I guess the good news is it's only almost 9 o'clock your time and not 11 o'clock your time. But this would be a great time now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Five Heart fans of all ages, throw your predictions into the comments right now.
Do we? Okay. Yes, we are.
While you do that,
remember what I said about the winning attitude, people, winning mentality. It's not a threat.
No, now, David, do we have to do realistic? TSD, yes, you have to give a prediction. They don't have to be realistic. I don't care. So, all right. While we do that, let's remind the listeners about the other two people, or I guess three people. So, from the Coronation Overreaction at the beginning of the season, Jake predicted 38-20 Ohio State. Haas made a change. He originally said 31-30 Ohio State. Now he said 40-37 Ohio State.
He thinks we're going to score 37?
That's what he said.
Oh, yay, Haas.
Let's see. John just said loss. Didn't get a score from John.
I think he gave one the other night. I can't remember. I wrote it down somewhere. Even Ramsey, the guy that John had on last night, he said that we were going to not win, but he said that.
Was he expecting a closer game?
30. Yeah, he said 36-29. I know.
I don't know how in the world he thinks we're going to score 29.
I don't either.
Go for two or miss the PAT and have a safety. So.
Oh, no. That's not his score. That's not his score. It's 49-20.
Okay. Good Lord.
Okay, 49-20. He's been covering them for a long time.
He has 13 or 16 or something like that. Highlander Gun says, as long as we don't quit and show some improvement. Fred says Ramsey was being nice or he's on crack. All right, so let's knock out some of these predictions that you good people have provided. Tiger Shark Diver says 42-17 Ohio State. Fred says we tighten up and hold Ohio State down and lose 38-7. Go Big Red. Let's see. BFOTS Josh Hansen says, I'm coming off my usual score predictions, and I'm saying Nebraska 27, Ohio State 24.
Yes!
There's irrationality in Western Nebraska tonight. Nebraska T-Bones says Big Red goes down honorably, 35-16. VP doesn't leave a score, says I predict we win. Go Big Red. Let's see. Oh, add that one to the list. All right. Mr. Raji says Ohio State 48, Nebraska 12. Aaron Keene says 652-13, Ohio State. Aaron, you're getting the look. I don't know if you can. I can't look at it anymore. I'm going to turn to stone. I'm looking away.
I'm not even going to write that down.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible that he put an extra number in on Ohio State's score. So.
Are you taking this seriously, Aaron Keene?
Clearly not if he's saying 652 points. Pitt Snipe Husker says 3-2. Game is called 1:14, a minute 14 in due to locusts and raining frogs. Huskers go to the playoff. I don't think that's a real one either. Are you familiar with the plagues of Egypt? Okay, just check. And Pitt says you write it.
Oh gosh.
652
652-13.
BFOTS Josh Hansen says 652-13 is probably yards. LOL. Oh, that's not any better. Thue Zero says Satterfield needs to call the game like his job is depending on it, and it is 42-17 Ohio State. TSD says, let's face it, we're getting our asses kicked. And Husker Bob says, we lose by more than one score in each quarter. Husker Bob, come on now. Vince Watson says 56-14 nuts.
Guys, I don't know if you're trying to do this on purpose. I'm not feeling that winning mentality here.
I don't think she wrote yours down, Vince. I don't think she wrote yours down.
These are not. All right.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, says 52-7 Ohio State. Aaron Keene says Minnie's going to seek help after these predictions.
Yeah, you guys are giving me a...
Kaylee Bartle says 38-17 Ohio State. Nebraska covers the spread, but only because OSU has backups in for the fourth quarter.
Oh. Okay.
Let's see here. Diamond Dave says, good game to pregame drink excessively. Well, we'll say this.
Dave, you need to give a prediction.
And it's always a good reminder because we love all of you and we don't want any liability issues to tell you now and remind you frequently. Celebrate responsibly. Pregame responsibly. Don't go crazy. Make sure you drink lots of water. We don't want anybody sick. We don't want anybody getting hurt.
That's disgusting.
What?
Diamond Dave's prediction.
Oh. Diamond Dave, 63-7.
Well, you might be sleeping elsewhere.
He's like, I'm gonna be home by myself the next couple of nights. It'll be fine. Just get a pregame on the vacation. Fred says 38-7 Ohio State. Satterfield 2 apples. I don't know why.
2 apples. I already wrote down his prescription, but I didn't write the 2 apples down.
So he had to write down his prescription?
2 apples.
Mm-hmm.
No, his prediction.
You said prescription. You must have finished that White Claw finally.
It's seriously, there's still this much in here. I know.
I love Rostovsky here. Bowserman's son makes an appearance in the 31-28 Nebraska upset.
Okay.
And Diamond Dave does come back and say, I meant 63-7 Nebraska. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Minnie, it's time for your score prediction.
Have you given yours, Greg?
No, I always go last. That's sort of my thing.
Oh, is it your thing, Greg?
Yeah, just like the show's my show. You want to get lippy about it?
Greg, I've put up with a lot from you tonight. What is going on?
I'm just kidding. It's all entertainment, my friend.
All right, Greg.
I just dialed it up to 11 or 12. I'm sorry.
Okay, here's the deal.
I just don't deserve anything nice.
No, don't do that either. Greg.
Yep.
I think there's a chance we win. And I also think there's a chance we don't. But I'm going into Saturday thinking we're going to take OSU on full throttle. And we've been holding back key players, the Carter Nelsons. There's these things that have been showing up that it's like, wait a minute, why is Carter Nelson not playing more? And why haven't we seen Heinrich more? And what, just other things. So maybe we unleash all of these secret weapons and we beat OSU. And we finally get into the 30s. I'm going to say 30-24.
Minnie, this is why I let you go first. Because now I get to say that in our preseason episode where we did predictions, you actually predicted a loss in this game for Nebraska.
Yeah, I know I did. But you know why? I had 2 losses total.
Mm-hmm. One of them was
We've already got them out of the way.
You had us beating Illinois, so did I. You had us beating Indiana, so did I. You had us losing initially to Rutgers. And you had us losing to Ohio State. And the score you said was 30-24?
Mm-hmm. And you?
I'm writing it down, sorry. Like you, I appreciate a good winning mentality. like Isaac Gifford, I believe that this team's going to be pissed off, fired up, whatever phrase is going to bring them the most comfort as they take the field on Saturday afternoon. It will be Saturday afternoon in the Eastern time zone, the lesser time zone. But here's the thing.
Sir, you have an issue with time zones.
Yeah, there's only one that's right, and it's the Central time zone.
How about the people who never change time?
Yeah, you're wrong quite a bit then. All of it. I don't ever pick Nebraska to lose. Ever. You go back through as long as we've been doing, night before or week of episodes where we give predictions during the season. I've never predicted Nebraska to lose. And I'm not going to start now.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the score is going to be. If the score is 3-2, I'm happy. If the score is 2-0, I'm happy. If the score is 70-4, that'd be unlikely, but I'd be happy. But I'm going to say Nebraska is going to win. I like a 28-24 score on there. Again, our kicking game is in the shambles. And yeah, say what you want. It's irrational. But so am I. I've always been. And even though from last Saturday, about 3 minutes into the Indiana game to about 10 minutes ago, I've been negative Nancy. It's time to – I can't believe I'm going to say this. It's time to turn on the sunshine. Time to bring out positive Greg. Time to lift myself up just so that the bastard Buckeyes can potentially break my heart again. But that's okay because I'll never stop believing.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Journey, me and Steve Perry, we've all got that in common.
Oh, really?
Don't stop believing. Nebraska wins. Actually, my bold prediction at the beginning of the season was Nebraska would play Ohio State twice this season and win one of those games.
I do remember you saying that.
So I think to get to the other matchup in the championship, they have to win this weekend. So let's do it. Let's shock the world. Let's pull a Vandy. Let's pull a Kennesaw State. Let's do something
Greg.
that Nebraska hasn't done in a long time, which is go on the road and beat a ranked opponent. Last time they beat a top 5 opponent is probably when Nebraska was top 5 themselves. So let's go do something that nobody expects us to do. Look, there should be no pressure on Nebraska in this game. They should be able to go out, play loose, play fast, play free, because nobody's expecting them to win. No pundits, majority of the Chatterfields, nobody is expecting Nebraska to win this game. Let's go out and shock them all. Who gives a shit?
Greg, I can't tell you what you just inspired in all of the chat.
Oh, God.
Such positivity. This is impressive, Greg. Maybe you're missing your calling. Motivational speaker, perhaps?
Don't know.
Kaylee Bartell says, positivity. If it didn't break you last week, don't worry. It will get the job this weekend.
Thanks, Kaylee.
But I didn't know this. Best friend of the show, Josh Hansen, says that you guys have an agreement. Is that true?
Josh says, just so everyone knows, Greg has already agreed that if we beat OSU, he and I are going YouTube live shirtless, and I'm running down the street with my black shirt's flag. I remember there being something about the black shirt's flag. I don't remember there anything about being shirtless. But I'll tell you what. It was, I want to say September 18th, 1998. Mark McGuire broke Roger Maris's single-season home run record, putting number 62 just over the left field fence at Old Busch Stadium. And when that happened, I was watching the game, and I was 16 at the time, watching the game, and I ran outside at night and jumped in the lake that was behind Mom and Dad's house. So I've done crazy, stupid shit. And if Nebraska wins, I might just do more crazy, stupid shit. So,
yeah, but you were 16 then.
Yeah, but, just because you grow old doesn't mean you grow up. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay.
Thank you, TSD. Little journey. I'm not going to sing it. I cannot match Steve Perry's vocal
Don't stop
stylings. Hold on to the feeling. Highlander gun. It's true. And my dad is very particular about the lawn. Just know that. It's actual Steve Perry, the one and only, not the replacement, not the wish.com Steve Perry.
They sound the same.
That's fine, but there's only one Steve Perry. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says go big red. You
inspired a go big red.
I did. It's what I do. VP says Ohio State has always been and always will be the most overrated team in college football history. I'll say this. No fan base, and this is saying something coming from Nebraska, but no fan base thinks as highly of themselves as Ohio State. Like, they are insufferable. Yeah. I have some Ohio State fan friends. Oh, they are insufferable. Let's see. TSD says, I like being the underdog. Let's whoop that ass.
Mm-hmm.
Pit Snipe Husker, half a Husk. Thank you. I appreciate the knowledge of that. A Greg Aleutian. This is fun. Thank you, Mr. Raji. I was on point. Diamond. I inspired him to change.
Right on, Diamond.
He knocked 3 scores off.
Look what you did, Greg. Wow. I couldn't do that.
This is fun. All right. I think that'll do it.
Okay.
For this episode. Minnie, any final thoughts? Anything?
Yeah, Greg, just for me, would you mind reading that little bit about Michael Jordan that I wrote, his quote in the description?
Yes, let me get to that. Because
it's a positive thought.
It is a positive thought, by gosh. And it is important to note, but before I say this, since you will be traveling, be safe, safe travels, have a great time. And I say this to everybody when they're going out to a big game. The number of Cardinals games that my sister would go to years past, I would always say, either come home a winner or don't come home at all. So no pressure. I think Diamond Dave would say the same thing. Either Nebraska, you bring home a Nebraska victory or don't bother coming home.
You think he'll say the same thing?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Am I reading the whole thing or just the Michael Jordan part?
Just whatever you want to do.
Okay. I'll just read the Michael Jordan part.
Okay.
We're almost coming up to that magical 2-hour, 14-minute mark. Michael Jordan famously said years back, I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying. And he's the GOAT.
Amen.
So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this episode of the 5 Heart Podcast. Again, if you haven't, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and ring the bell for notifications. Many have a wonderful time. Safe travels. I know you're going to have a blast, win, lose, or somewhere in between. So for my friend Minnie, the co-host with the mo-host, it's a work in progress. We'll have something figured out better by next week. I'm Greg Mahachko. This is the 5 Heart Podcast. We remind you each and every week, that 5 heart is all the heart you need. Ready? Don't do it.
Go Big Red. Go Big Red.
I'm so sorry, Diamond Dave. So sorry.